Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into a profound and beautiful concept from Chinese traditional culture, Tianren He, or the unity of heaven and human. What does this ancient idea mean, and how can it transform our modern lives? Let's find out. At its heart, Tianren He is the belief that humanity and the natural world are not separate entities, but rather a single, interconnected whole. It's a philosophy that sees us as a microcosm of the vast universe, a small part of a grand cosmic dance. This isn't just a poetic idea. It's a practical guide for living a balanced, healthy, and harmonious life. Think about it. Our ancestors didn't have atomic clocks or digital calendars. Their guide was nature itself. They observed the rising and setting of the sun, the phases of the moon, and the changing of the seasons. They noticed that just as nature has its cycles, so too does the human body. This deep observation led to the core principle of Tianren He. To live well, we must live in sync with the rhythms of nature. Let's break this down by looking at the 4 seasons, which are central to this philosophy. Each season has its own unique energy, or key, and our bodies are meant to resonate with it. First, we have spring. Spring is the season of birth and growth. You see new shoots pushing through the soil, trees budding with fresh leaves, and a sense of vibrant upward energy all around. According to traditional wisdom, our bodies should mirror this. Spring is the time for our own renewal and expansion. It's a time to stretch, to move, and to allow our energy, which has been dormant during winter, to flow freely. Think of it as a gentle awakening. Classic texts advise us to go to bed late and rise early. Take long strides in the courtyard, and let your hair down to relax the body. This isn't just about physical action. It's about cultivating a mindset of openness and creativity. Emotionally, it's a time to foster kindness and generosity, to let go of anger, and to embrace the spirit of generation, not destruction. In terms of diet, we should eat more fresh, green, and sprouting foods. It's like spring onions and spinach, to support the liver, the organ associated with spring. Next comes summer, the season of peak growth and abundance. The sun is at its strongest. Nature is lush and overflowing with life, and the energy is outward and expansive. This is the most yang season of the year. Our bodies should reflect this peak activity. Summer is the time to be active, to socialize, and to fully enjoy the long daylight hours. But it's also a time to be mindful of the heat. Traditional wisdom suggests we should prevent our bodies from overheating, both physically and emotionally. We should avoid getting angry, which can flare up the heart fire, the organ associated with summer. Instead, we should cultivate joy and connection. It's the perfect time for outdoor activities, but preferably in the cooler parts of the day. Our diet should consist of cooling foods like watermelon, cucumber, and mung beans to help balance the summer heat and replenish fluids lost through sweating. Then, the vibrant energy of summer gradually gives way to the mellowing influence of autumn. Autumn is the season of harvest and consolidation. The leaves change color in fall, the air becomes crisp and dry, and nature begins to draw its energy inward, preparing for the coming winter. Our lifestyle should follow suit. This is a time for us to start gathering our own energy. The focus shifts from the outward expression of summer to a more inward, reflective state. The classic texts advise us to go to bed early and rise early with the chickens. This helps us attune to the shortening days. Emotionally, autumn is associated with the lungs and the emotion of grief or sadness. It's a time to practice letting go, just as the trees let go of their leaves. To counteract the dryness of the season, we should consume moistening foods like pears, honey, and lily bulbs to nourish the lungs and our skin. Finally, we arrive at winter, the season of storage and stillness. Nature is dormant, the world is quiet, and energy is conserved deep within the earth. Winter is the most yin season, a time for rest, introspection, and deep replenishment. Our lifestyle should reflect this deep quietude. We are advised to go to bed early and rise late, waiting for the sunlight. This is not a time for intense, sweaty exercise. Instead, gentle practices like Tai Chi or meditation are more appropriate. It's about conserving our vital energy, our Jing, which is stored in the kidneys, the organ of winter. We should protect ourselves from the cold and nourish our bodies with warming, hearty foods like root vegetables, soups, and stews. Emotionally, it's a time for deep contemplation and preserving our spirit, avoiding stress and excessive activity that could deplete our reserves. As you can see, this seasonal approach isn't about rigid rules. It's about mindful living and intelligent adaptation. It's about listening to both the world around you and the world within you. This is the essence of harmonizing yin and yang. Yin represents the cool, dark, passive, and inward energies, while yang represents the hot, bright, active, and outward energies. A healthy life is a continuous balancing act between these two forces. In summer, we balance the extreme yang of the season with cooling activities and foods. In winter, we balance the extreme yin with warmth and internal nourishment. But Tianren He goes beyond just the physical. It's about the harmony of body, mind, and spirit. When our physical activities are aligned with the seasons, our emotions tend to be more stable and our minds become clearer. Living out of sync with nature, like staying up all night in winter or eating heavy, greasy foods in spring, can disrupt our internal balance, leading not just to physical illness but also to emotional turmoil like anxiety or depression. The ancient sages understood that our mental and emotional health is inseparable from our physical health and our connection to the environment. So, how can we apply this ancient wisdom in our fast-paced 21st century lives? It might seem daunting, but it's simpler than you think. It starts with small, conscious choices. First, pay attention to the seasons. Don't just look at the calendar. Feel the change in the air, notice the light, and observe the plants and animals around you. Second, adjust your diet seasonally. Visit a local farmer's market and see what's fresh. Eating locally and seasonally is not only good for your body, but it also reconnects you to your local environment and its natural cycles. Third, adapt your activity levels. Embrace more dynamic outdoor activities in spring and summer. In autumn and winter, shift towards more restorative indoor practices. Respect your body's need for more rest during the darker months. Fourth, manage your emotions in harmony with the season's energy. In spring, practice forgiveness and growth. In summer, cultivate joy. In autumn, practice letting go. And in winter, embrace quiet contemplation. Finally, spend more time in nature. Whether it's a walk in the park, a hike in the mountains, or simply sitting by a window and watching the clouds, reconnecting with the natural world is a powerful way to recalibrate your internal rhythms. Turn off your phone, take a deep breath, and just be present with the world around you. The philosophy of Tianren He Yi teaches us that we are not masters of nature, but participants in it. It reminds us that our health and well-being are intrinsically linked to the health and well-being of our planet. By aligning our lives with the rhythms of the natural world, we can achieve a profound sense of balance, vitality, and inner peace. It's a timeless wisdom that is more relevant today than ever before, offering an antidote to the stress and disconnection of modern life. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the unity of heaven and human. I hope it has inspired you to look at your own life and your connection to the world in a new way. What small changes can you make to live more in harmony with nature? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more explorations of timeless wisdom. See you in the next one.